Welcome, Blue Noses around the world, to Wattos' special takeover program. Now, if you want to press likes and subscribe and all that stuff, please get ahead and do it. But I'm here to tell you, I told you so. My last offering before the season end was to invite Mr. Watson to treat us like we deserve, i.e., we are somewhat special. We're in a privileged position to be in the best city in the United Kingdom, as a second city where most countries' best football teams operate, not in the capital, most of them, Bayern Munich, Barcelona, Milan. That's where the big teams play. And I'm glad to say our friend Mr. Watson seems to recognise this. Perhaps he listened to my blog. I hope so. What else can we say? He said all the right things. The thing that impresses me the most is his sidekick, Mr. Cook. Now, he's a Brummie. Can't be bad. That's the Test cricket team. Stick two Brummies in and they win. Anyway, I digress. So this guy has been in and around the highest level of the game. He was the CEO of the Saudi League. Now, if he hasn't got connections, then I don't know who has. So that's a good thing. And everything points. He talks about creating a dynasty, which we came close to a couple of times in our history, going back to the 60s when Clifford Coombs came along and started to treat us like a top-class club. And unfortunately, by the time he'd done that, he sadly passed away, and his sons who took over weren't interested, so they let the thing slide again. Then we had the Sullivans and Golds, which again looked like to be the business, but they were frightened away, by our council not cooperating, and the idiot fans who suddenly thought that they could tell him how to spend his money. Well, that didn't work, did it? And he sold us up the river to people who were criminals, were unreliable. And then we ended up with our last owners. Now, can't say enough about this guy. He's put his money where his mouth is, and he has connections. He will get investors in this club like you've never seen. He's talking about, obviously, we need to fix the ground to get it back to its original level, let alone rebuild anything. But again, he wants a stadium that's worthy of the city of Birmingham, let alone Birmingham City. And I love that. I'm old enough now, and I'm sure that people say, we don't want to move to St Andrews, blah, blah, blah. I've been going there for 65 years. And I would be, before I drop off this mortal coil, I would love to sit there in a 50,000-seater stadium, which is suitable for the major football matches and events on the planet. Now, we proved in the Commonwealth Games that this city is capable of these sort of things, but we need a centre that we can do this from. As for the team, well, we bought a few, we flogged a few, we've waved bye to some, and we've said hello to a new set. I think the signings are exciting. I think the signings are players who can entertain us. Sadly, we've lost Chong, because if we had one player who could entertain us, that was him. Now, He's gone to Luton. We won't even talk about that. But he's straight away been praised by Dembele. Now, Dembele is an interesting signing, in as much 2 years ago, we all remember the debacle that we had at Peterborough when we got beat 3-0 and took about 5,000 fans there and got embarrassed. Well, that boy's had an interesting couple of years since he did that to us. He went to Bournemouth. He did very well at Bournemouth. He got promoted and he played in the Premiership, and then suddenly shipped out to Besiktas. Now, with great respect to Turkish football, a trip to Besiktas is not normally looked on as progress. However, he's come back. There are no videos of him playing for Besiktas that I can find, but there's plenty of him playing for Peterborough and Bournemouth. And I remember that day, and if he plays half as well as he did against us that day, we'll have a good signing. He's a like for like with Chong, I think, and obviously we've come out of it financially better off than anybody else, and let's just hope that we can keep moving forward with exciting players. Now then, getting back to Mr. Watson, one thing he said that really got my goosebumps going was this business that he appreciates the city. Now, as I said before, second cities do very well, and we have to admit that them lot across the road have had some success as part of the second city. Now, I remember that day particularly because it was my birthday. I was 31. I'm 72 now. So there's plenty of time for somebody to take over that mantle of the city's team. And Blue Noses, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. I can feel it in my blood. I spoke to the man in upstairs, and he has come good for me. Thank you, Lord. And I've been waiting for this day. Not that I don't trust the Chinese businessmen. I just don't trust the Chinese way of doing business. And now it's all done. I wish them all the success in the world. And I bear no grudges. We've got to this point, and had they not come in and done what they did, we may not have had a club at all. So that's it from me. Look out for the next session of the Tilton Talk Show, and I'll be there. God bless you all. Thank you, and keep right on.